Everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master. I am here with my brother as we play Azorius Merfolk in Modern. We're back to Splashing White. That's right, Path to Exile, Spell Queller, Rest in Peace, and Stony Silence. Merfolk hates artifacts. That's why they hate Stony Silence. We're going to play Stony Silence. Beat those Walking Ballista decks. Beat those Affinity decks. We're going to send them back home. And if you want to see Merfolk played by the Master, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com. And MTG Arena content is being played by MTG Jeff. He's found a way to play Is It mid-range without the Drakes? Go check it out on themanabase.com. Your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And I have new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much for all of you for your support, supporting the channel. So I would like to thank my newest patrons, Brad Amos, Jamie Hartley, and Donnie Miller. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon. And we got one more thing left. The signed Masterwaves Elemental giveaway. The winner of this giveaway this week is this person. Congratulations, you've won 2 Masterwaves Foil Elementals. These custom full art Elementals, they're beautiful. Unfortunately, right now we're going to slow down the giveaways. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate them in the future of the channel, but I need to make this channel a little bit more automated, which means like when I post that you have to like click the link in the or share the Twitter or Facebook link, then I'm like furiously trying to post on Twitter and then Facebook and then copy and paste the links back into the description. So I'm just gonna have to figure out some other way to do the giveaways in the future, and you'll know when you see them. So let's talk about this list. So I was talking about a long time ago how I was really excited about Horizon Canopy in the mono green Merfolk deck that I played. And the Merfolk deck like ultimately failed. I mean, even in my playtesting I could win only like 45% of the time. Not where you want to be. But a really impressive card out of all that was Horizon Canopy. I mean, this is why Horizon Canopy is in Boggles. This is why Horizon Canopy is in Elves. This is why Horizon Canopy is in Spirits, in Humans, in anything that can play this card. Because it's a land that you can exchange for a new card. Imagine if we could do that with like some of our islands. Sacrifice island, draw a card. That's busted.
If you want to cheat, you can do that.
Yeah, well.
And paper.
We're going to learn. Well, you know what? Alex Bertoncini is banned from Magic the Gathering. I'm sure he's opening up coaching lessons as we speak.
What did he do? I only read
tons of stuff. I mean, he was constantly cheating. I mean, I think apparently the final nail in the coffin is he played Ancient Stirrings, which can only find colorless cards, and he like grabbed Hardened Scales in the Hardened Scales Affinity deck. Yeah, Hardened Scales. I'll take that. So he's just
opponent was a jump or
just
something.
nabs. Well, yeah. His most famous move was playing a bunch of lands with Explorer. There's a card that says play an extra land, but he played like extra lands in addition to that. Anyway, he's opening up coaching. So the point is that Horizon can. Oh, by the way, this card is like $100. So I'm very sorry.
Online or paper?
Paper. Ooh. It burns holes in wallets. It's very expensive.
It also burns holes in your life total. Isn't there anything else you can play that's blue or that's green or white?
Well, yeah, but like it doesn't draw a card. That's the special thing about Horizon Canopy. There's no way
you draw a card every turn. It's nothing special.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you want to draw 2 cards a turn. Alex Bertoncini knows all about it.
All right.
Sometimes you want to draw 3 cards a turn. He played Brainstorm. You're supposed to draw 3 cards, put 2 cards back. He just drew 3 cards and then went about his business.
What a piece of garbage. Wow.
That's how you do it. It's hard to do that online, though. So that's the point of Horizon Canopy. We can exchange the land for something else. And so that was the most valuable thing I found in the mono-green Merfolk deck that I played. And I thought, do you know what? Mutavault is not as good as I would like it to be. I mean, it's not that good. I think it's very good against Tron, but against a lot of other matchups, it's not what it used to be. And I figure Horizon Canopy, it's white, so maybe that was a good reason to revisit the blue-white Merfolk deck, which has... There is also the problem... there was a lot of problems. I even have a video about why you should not play blue-white Merfolk, and I'll address what is different today than in the past. So the first thing is that Stony Silence is a really high impact card. In the past, it was only good against Affinity. Today, it's good against Affinity, Hardened Scales Affinity, Lantern Control, and Krark Clan Ironworks, which is probably about to get banned. That's another reason why we're playing this today, and we're playing it in a league because like Krark Clan Ironworks is probably going to get banned, and from there, like, well, the metagame's going to completely change. So let's have some fun this week. So Stony Silence does hit a very large range of decks. Until KCI gets banned, then it's going to hit a much fewer range of decks. But that's the point, that there's more decks now than ever before playing artifacts where this thing will be good. It's also good against Amulet Titan, because the way that you're going to lose to Amulet Titan is when they search up Walking Ballista, when they search up Engineered Explosives. Stony Silence is just going to completely shut that off. So this is a card I'm going to want to bring in against those Amulet decks. We also have Rest in Peace, which is also a very high impact card right now. It's very good against Dredge. You just want this one card. It's going to win the game on the spot. Boom. That's what you want. It's also going to be very good against the Izzet Phoenix decks. I mean, not good against Crackling Drake, but good against the Arclight Phoenix and the rest of them. Path Exile, it might still be just as bad as I said it was before, but you need some sort of spot removal to deal with cards like Dark Confidant or like a Death Shadow or something, so I'm still going to play it. So it still has the same liabilities as it did before. It doesn't interact well with Curse Catcher. It doesn't interact good with Spreading Seas, because you're trying to cut your opponent off lands, colors, and then you just Path Exile the color back to the battlefield, and it ramps them up, so it makes Curse Catcher a lot weaker. So I am playing with, just to remind people that if you want to play around Blood Moon, play with less Seachrome Coasts and play with more fetch lands so that you can fetch out the islands from your deck in order to cast your spells. And I think if I'm ever playing against a Blood Moon deck, I'm just going to try to remove the white spells, or at least the Path to Exile and maybe some Spell Quellers, and just bring in these other cards in my sideboard. So some other personal choices. Let's try play with Spell Queller. Like, why not? This is a counterspell. Let's play with more counterspells. It's not going to hit things from like Tron, but it's going to hit a lot of other cards that you just know. It's like this is why this card is so strong in Spirits, is because they have got a counterspell on a body. Let's try to utilize this thing. I'm treating Spell Queller like a spell, not like a creature. It's not part of my creature base. So basically I'm playing with 26 creatures in this deck, plus Spell Queller as a soft sort of counter spell. Almost like Remand, almost. Instead of drawing a card, the card is countered and you have a body on the battlefield. Hopefully this is also going to have an impact against the Affinity decks, because we now have a pretty decent flyer that can block. I'm going to try out Curse Catcher. I just want to try Curse Catcher, see how Curse Catcher is going to work in the metagame right now. There are a lot of spell-based decks now. Arclight Phoenix is big. Burn is coming back. It's okay against Death Shadow. It's okay. So I like having Curse Catcher there as well. So let's see how Curse Catcher works. And then we have the rest, our regular suite of creatures and spells. Going to the sideboard, I think Chalice of the Void might be coming into position. It's pretty okay. It's pretty good against the Amulet Titan deck. Burn, Infect. So there are some, well, KCI, but KCI probably is going to get banned. But the point is, I think Chalice of the Void hits enough decks now that we have to start considering it back in the sideboard, which is another reason why I don't have Spell Pierce in the deck. Spell Pierce very good against the control decks, but control decks are on the downswing right now, so I don't mind losing Spell Pierce, which can counter Teferi, for Chalice of the Void, which counters a lot of other things. Very good against the Arclight Phoenix decks as well, because they've just got a ton of 1-mana spells. Deprive is, just our counterspell of choice. Counters everything, so we're going to stay with the Deprive. Alright, so this is... Hopefully we get to see what this deck can do in today's modern environment, and hopefully it's going to do well. Oh, maybe one other reason why we're playing with Horizon Canopy over, say, Mutavault is because the Mutavault is colorless mana, and I think it's too hard to play the colorless mana when we really need white mana. Like, I'm playing with, what, I think 14 white sources, so that we're guaranteed to have those white sources by turn 2. to cast Rest in Peace, cast Stony Silence, make sure that we have the white mana for Spell Queller on turn 3. Because otherwise, what's the point of splashing? So if you have like too many Mutavaults, say 4 out of these islands are Mutavaults, and then you're really weak to Blood Moon. I think way too weak, and then you run out of basics when your opponents are playing Path to Exile or Ghost Quarter or Field of Ruin. So, and the fact of the matter is, Field of Ruin is a big card which has neutralized Mutavault. I'm beating control decks without Mutavault. I don't really care. I think Mutavault's best matchups are like Jund, Death Shadow, Tron, and I know those are all big decks right now, but I'm hoping Horizon Canopy is going to make up for it against all the other decks in the format. All right, so let's go try our deco. We won the die roll. Yeah, we have a fine hand. We'll keep this. It's not interactive, but like, this is not something you can throw away.
Shoutouts to all the nice people I've been encountering on MTGO.
Yeah, my brother's been grinding with 100-card Merfolk decks.
No, I played that for a day. I only used that for a day.
Okay, well, you still play other crazy Merfolk decks.
My Dark Folk deck is much more reasonable. It's like 64 cards, no sideboard.
64 cards? Who needs a sideboard? Uh-oh, if we're up against Jund, this could be a problem because, like, wow, these Lord of Atlantis are super vulnerable to Maelstrom Pulse. I'll be leading with Lord of Atlantises. And our opponent knows we have a million Lord of Atlantises. I actually think the fact that we've gone to blue-white gives us no advantage, no tangible advantage against the like Jund deck. I don't think Rest in Peace is that great. I mean, I'll bring one in, but like I think Merfolk Trickster is more than enough to deal with Tarmogoyfs, and Harbinger of the Tides also deals with Tarmogoyf pretty well. Okay. Hopefully this is gonna be Assassin's Trophy. That's not a bad draw. I will play that.
I have stops at every step.
You are wasting a lot of time. So I will play this because this is going to make like a lot of future plays easier. Not going to be thrilled to see a Liliana the Veil, but whatever. Because Liliana will start eating up the hand. Liliana, no, that is a Liliana, but that's Last Hope.
But it is a Liliana.
And are they going to remember to tick it up? Because it looks like they're skipping through their turn. Okay. Unfortunately, we do have a hand that doesn't get eaten by that stupid Liliana. This is the Liliana that makes
babies.
I don't know about babies. Well, it does make babies, I guess. Zombie babies. All right, let's
keep rolling them out.
Play creatures. I'm gonna hold the island in my hand for Kolaghan's Command. Well, this actually might be rock. This actually makes a lot of sense if it's rock. Double swamp, forest, so we might see. Yeah, this is a rock deck. Rock is just black-green. No red, no white. Sometimes a small splash of white for, what's it called? Oh, there's Tireless Tracker. That's annoying. A small splash of white for Lingering Souls. So our opponent is a pony. They could have played the Tireless Tracker first, then played the Treetop Village to get the clue. That is, like, that's too big of a mistake. So we got Spreading Seas. You better believe we're going to play it.
Oh, yeah.
Might as well be on the Treetop Village. I'm a little incentivized to do it on the Swamp, but...
They got double black, is this?
Still going to keep the island in my hand for, like, Liliana the Veil if they do play it. You can have more than one Liliana. Might start playing this thing now? I don't know. Okay, we'll start by attacking the Liliana the Veil. Or sorry, Liliana the Last Hope. And before blockers, I'm going to flash in Master the Pearl Trident. And 1 damage is not a lot, but it's better than nothing. We got to stay far away from that ultimate. At -7, our opponent gets to put in 2 zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, plus an amount of zombie creature tokens that are already on the battlefield. So it's ridiculous.
You needed that Treetop Village.
Me too. fact that we have so many Island Walkers is great because even if our opponent has a lot of removal, well, I mean, I don't want to see a lot of removal, but if our opponent does have a lot of, a decent chunk of removal, we still have a bunch of Island Walkers on the battlefield. Usually there will be some situation where they just dismantle one Island Walker. Now I can't get through any damage. Ideally, I want to see my opponent tap out. Okay, so we're going to get some mana, which means actually we're going to have Master Waves online next turn, which is good. But we probably better kill this Liliana, the Last Hope. Yes, attack, attack! Got this Harbinger of the Tides. It's going to be a huge blowout. Leave the Vial on 2, because that's where it's the most valuable. Merfolk Trickster is great. So... just play Lord. Attack Liliana, the Last Hope. And they'll hard cast Harbinger, bounce the Tireless Tracker. And then next turn we can play Master of Waves. Opponent has to have spells in hand. Spells are creatures. They only have 1 green mana though, so that doesn't help them.
There she is.
Ooh, the Veil. Okay, if ticking up, I will dump the Merfolk Trickster. Sacrifices a creature. Okay, we sacrifice this one. Dang. Double Liliana, how is this possible? I didn't know she had a twin sister.
Never seen them in the same room before.
Yeah. Well, here's the good news. We can kill both of them at once. So we'll play Merfolk Trickster. It's going to be a 4/4 creature, which the small Lord of Atlantis and Trickster can kill Liliana, the Last Hope.
Have to get a lot of devotion.
Rose get a lot of devotion, though. Oh, and then we have something for the... okay, there should not be anything that can interact with us for 1 green mana. So the only bad thing that can happen to us is, I don't know, a main deck Languish. I'm not even sure if that's something in the main deck. Okay, this goes after Veil. This goes after Last Hope. This goes after Last Hope. There we go. So both Liliana's gone. We have 2 Lord of Atlantises. Merfolk Trickster. Master of Waves with infinite possibilities. The possibilities are endless.
The possibilities. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Boom.
You say you're a doctor.
No, dark.
Is it dark?
Yes.
Oh.
DRK.
Okay, so cards that we want. We're going to take out an Ether Vial. We're going to take out an Ether Vial. And an Island. Maybe some Curse Catchers. I sort of want the Deprives. How many Deprives do I want? I probably don't want Rest in Peace. It's not that big of a deal. Doesn't affect the deck enough. Could Chalice do something? Not really. Curse Catcher is okay. So I like Deprive because they do have some big bomb spells in their deck, especially Damnation and Languish, which wipe our board. Don't like that. That's not good. Can't let that happen. I'll take out 1 more Curse Catcher, bring in another Deprive. I actually like Deprive quite a bit in this matchup. It's a good card. It's a good card.
It's a great card.
Hopefully our opponent doesn't bring in Choke. I feel tempted to bring in 1 more Deprive. Whatever. We'll leave it at this. So the strategy against these attrition-based decks, you want to remove mana sources, so my strategy right now has been going down on like a land and an Ether Vial, but I really like Ether Vial. Maybe I shouldn't even shave the Ether Vials against them, but I really like Ether Vial against the Rock deck because they have so many things that happen at sorcery speed. Collective Brutality, Liliana the Veil, Liliana the Last Hope. How did we beat them? We did it with Ether Vial. If we had no Ether Vial and we had to play one thing a turn, we would have got wiped out. So this hand's good. Or I don't know if it's good, but like it's fine. If we can draw more lands, it will be really good. Opponent does nothing.
Not gonna pay for it,
huh? Just in case we're playing around Choke, I'll start with the Sea Chrome Coast.
You worry about that card all the time.
Well, I don't know about all the time, but like, you know, when it comes,
I'll make a video compilation every time you talk about it. Every time you warn it.
Well, I'm doing very well playing around it, so. No, not Bobby. Don't Bobby me. Tarmogoyf. That's the new Tarmogoyf.
Ew.
It's always chasing some elk.
I like the other Tarmogoyf better.
Well, let's start playing Silvergill. Actually, okay, I could play Silvergill. I could also play the Merfolk Trickster.
Tap him down.
Do you know what? I actually like that. Let's hold up Merfolk Trickster. And we also have the option to like counter a Liliana the Veil or something if it gets cast. And I shouldn't be thinking like this, but I have some feeling my opponent is the type of person who would like tap out to play Tireless Tracker and then attack with Tarmogoyf. Which is not insane. If they thought that if I countered their Tireless Tracker, it would put an instant and their creature in the graveyard, which would make Tarmogoyf bigger.
I don't know if he's thinking that far ahead.
Okay, let's try to eat the Tarmogoyf. Maybe this is a bit greedy, but we'll see. There's a lot. There's like Assassin's Trophy and Fatal Push, for instance.
No, he didn't have it.
Nope. And now I have your Tarmogoyf. It's a 2/3 now. It died and it got bigger. How often does that happen? Okay, Collective Brutality. Ooh, we drew Spreading Seas. I sort of feel like playing the Horizon Canopy just in case I draw a Curse Catcher.
Do what thou wilt.
Okay, let's start attacking. Let's attack mana. I do like to attack mana. Prevents Liliana the Veil, Liliana's Last Hope. Well, I guess they would have played one of the Liliana's last turn. And drawing one more land would help, like, empty our hand. Okay, Scavenging Ooze.
Hate that card. Life from the Lone
Two of them. Well,
Life from the Lone bothers me a lot too.
well, I can play two things this turn anyway, so that's good. It's good to have the Silvergill Adept in hand. I'll show Curse Catcher because that's likely what we're going to play. The Deprives are not showing their
value
right now. Looks like we're going to get hit for like 6 damage next turn. Maybe I should have a rule, like, if I don't have multiple Spreading Seizes, I shouldn't play them early. No, that's not true. Playing Spreading Seas early is fine. Especially if it cuts them off double black. So I can't double block one, so I'm just gonna have to take I have to take this all. It's gonna take it. Tarmogoyf got smaller. Ooh, that's it. Okay. They're probably going to play something after this. That's a pretty good draw. So I can bounce the Scavenging Ooze, attack for 3. Or leave a lot of stuff on blocking duty.
Silvergale hope to get an island. And then, however...
It's a bit greedy. You know, I don't like... Look, I think it's actually good to hold on to the Silvergale for if I do draw an island, because I can't do anything with this Horizon Canopy. But I can cast Silvergale off this Horizon Canopy, so I want to play my blue spells, and then when I draw one more blue mana, I'm going to cast Silvergale off of Horizon Canopy and Island, and then play a Lord off of the other mana. I'm just wondering, do I attack? I can attack for 3, but I'm not really the beatdown here. I'm actually significantly further behind. So I think I might as well play the Harbinger of the Tides. Or I guess I can attack with Curse Catcher. That's not too bad.
Boing.
And then I can attempt to double block the Scavenging Ooze next turn. Or maybe not. Do you know what? Maybe I am going to leave the Curse Catcher here. So just in case they play Collective Brutality on one of my 2-drop creatures, I still have the option to double block the Scavenging Ooze and trade. Because this is about... I have more cards than them. Is that going to be a problem? I guess so. Yes. Okay, Fatal Push resolves. Like, I'm really far up on cards. So, do I just take 3 again? I guess so, yeah, I'm just going to take another 3.
Right on the chin.
Yep. No islands still. Okay, so now is this the point where I do play the Silvergale Adept just to draw another island?
Survey says yes.
No. I will play Lord of Atlantis, and I'll start chump blocking things if I have to. They keep playing a land every turn, or almost every turn. One problem is as creatures go to the graveyard, it gives more things for the other Scavenging Ooze to do. Okay, so there's another creature in the graveyard, so I can't really profitably block any of these oozes. So I'm going to have to make a chump block. Sad chump block.
Island, please. All right.
That's what no good. That's one of the disadvantages of playing like this. Okay, so we now have to play desperately. We need to draw an island or we're going to lose. And even then, it might not matter. Okay, I don't know what I'm hoping for, but I'll pass. Block 1, or maybe double block 1? Well, there's 2 creatures in the graveyard, though. See how they diversify. Okay, 4 on each. Well, drawing a Path to Exile would be good. I mean, that would work.
That delicious spot removal. So tasty.
Oh, Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, I'm dead. See, this would be a great spot for Aether Vial. Aether Vial would have just crushed our opponent. We would have held up Deprive the entire time. I still don't want to bring in Rest in Peace. I don't really like this card. Because it's like it really sucks against Tireless Tracker and or Dark Confidant if they're using it. Or yeah, I just don't like this card. It's not proactive. Sometimes it can just be dead by itself. I mean, sometimes should I just play one? I mean, I definitely don't want to draw a second one. And like in that game, I could have just died to the oozes themselves as 2/2 creatures. I'm just gonna submit this. Really don't want to bring. I want to bring in Rest in Peace when it like just shuts them down, just like totally shuts them down. Okay, but here we're up against Rock. You want to take the draw all the time. Like that would give you a huge advantage. In this game, we were super favored, but we can only play one thing a turn. If we could have hit our fourth land like a lot earlier, we would have completely taken over the game. Trust me. But because we could only play one thing a turn and our opponent could play two things a turn, that's why we lost. But would you like to play first? No. You want more cards than your opponent. This hand is not ideal, but I'm going to keep it anyway.
I think it's great.
I mean, it's got no Merfolk in the hand. It's a lot of land. Okay, let's see what they do.
In one game, I thought see somebody, and he had 2 Goryo's Vengeance, a couple other cards, and this big like 7 mana legendary thing.
Boro.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Big Most or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know what Goryo's Vengeance is. All I see is this huge creature, so I say, no, you're not having that. And the next turn he plays Goryo's Vengeance on it, brings it into the battlefield.
Yeah. You helped them.
Yeah, I gave him the win instantly. Turn 2.
Oh, they take the Path to Exile. Oh, that's a bad draw. That's why we sided out some mana sources.
It'll get better.
Oh, yeah, well, let's see what we can do. We're not out of the woods yet. They took our Path to Exile, which means I guess they've got a bunch of creatures in hand. Well, at least one. Tarmogoyf. Sure. Let's see if we just get beaten by Tarmogoyfs.
No.
Well, we can cycle that into something else.
You can also use Spreading Seas for a draw.
Oh, I'm definitely doing that. Okay. But I need to actually draw things. Oh, wow. Okay, we're just running bad this game.
That sucks.
I took the draw on everything. And it's Wanderwine Hub. I don't even have a Merfolk to show. Well, do you want to be pretty good right now? Liliana the Veil ticking up. That actually would help me. I would take that. Our hand is just full of mana.
Well, he's already done most of the work himself. So.
Tireless Tracker.
Okay.
I will...
Bounce and then Spell Queller right next to it.
That's totally legit. I'm not. I really want to play Wanderwine Hub, but I can't. I just can't. So, we'll do this. Then pass. Because if I play Wanderwine Hub showing Harbinger of the Tides, then they'll know. They'll just know. So ideally, I'm going to bounce the Tarmogoyf, block the Tireless Tracker. This will be perfect. And then I'll Spell Queller the removal spell. That tries to target my Harbinger of the Tides, if it targets it at all.
Boing.
It's going to be really risky. You know, spell quelling stuff like this.
This is a beautiful
but
trade.
It's not a beautiful trade. It's very risky. Let's see, do I really want to get this thing off the board? Our opponent seems to have like a bunch of spells in hand.
But Fatal Push is 2 less.
Okay.
So spell cover will be protected. You dumbass. Doesn't work that way.
Well, at least they can't play the Tarmogoyf this turn.
Oh, wait. Did he use Revolt?
Yeah, there, because I bounced the Tarmogoyf.
Right, I forgot that. Forgot.
Okay. No lands. I should really crack this thing first on my upkeep. Ugh. Nothing to show. Okay, pass. Counter Tarmogoyf when it comes back down. Return island back to my hand.
His land.
I do have time. I do have a little bit of time. Another one of these. Okay, that's not too bad. Could have been a lot worse. Oops. Turn the island back. Counter that. And we take our turn.
Good stuff.
Yes, we need a lot of good stuff. This is not good stuff. Alright, let's sacrifice this.
Keep the game going for a turn.
It keeps things going. Rising Canopy, drew us a card. Just exactly as I was meant to do. So I'm guessing our opponent... okay, we'll pass. Let them do something. You gonna attack? I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna play the Merfolk Trickster yet, because they have a Tarmogoyf in hand. I'm gonna wait for some way to deal with the Tarmogoyf. Sorry, wait to deal with the this Tireless Tracker. And hopefully we can... kill the Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is going to be pretty big, right? For something. Land, instant creature. Instant. Land creature. Oh, and sorcerer, yeah. Okay. Well, I knew that earlier.
Well, you have it now.
I don't got anything. Okay, so something I can do is play Merfolk Trickster, target Tarmogoyf, attempt to go to blocks. They kill the Trickster, or they try to kill the Trickster. I spell queller the removal spell, and then I use the Trickster to block Tireless Tracker, and then use the spell queller to block Tarmogoyf. The problem with this now is that they see exactly what's in my hand. Expert... This is just a pony move. Or maybe they have another one. Ooh, that would be a problem. Okay, I have a spell queller in my hand. There's nothing in my hand to take. Extirpate. What if they have another extirpate in their hand? Then they're gonna, like, extirpate my spell queller. Because there is one in the graveyard. Okay, I'm just gonna let them see my hand. And then we can pass the turn back and forth a little bit. It could be Dr. Clinch. Dr. Clinch. Winning in a clinch. And they have to have more spells in hand. They have to. Because they haven't been playing any lands. Okay, you may attack. I will trade Spell Queller. Or should I try to trade the Merfolk Trickster? Ooh, this is difficult. If they have... Okay, no, Fatal Push doesn't kill my Spell Queller.
Not this time.
I'll just trade.
No Palm Spell.
Okay. Go on, Master of Waves. That would help.
That would turn it around.
Or Spreading Seas, Silvergill Adapt. I'll take it.
And crack it.
And crack it.
What a game. What
I can't play more lands. If I lose this, it's because I am flooding. There's nothing to do with, like, anything else except that.
That's magic. Come on!
This sucks. Well, this is where Rest in Peace would be pretty good. Okay, Curse Catcher is like more... I don't really like Curse Catcher in this matchup. I guess they know about my Merfolk Trickster. I could have showed it to them.
They know all about it.
So now, in this scenario, if they attack with Tarmogoyf, I would block with Curse Catcher first, let damage go through, and then Merfolk Trickster during the second main phase. And the reason you do that is if I play Merfolk Trickster beforehand, then they could just kill all the creatures that are in front of the Tarmogoyf. Whereas if I get damage to go through, then Merfolk Trickster, the Tarmogoyf, it turns into a 0/1 with 1 damage on it, and then dies, and it's guaranteed. But, like, we're in a race between them finding Thoughtseize or Inquisition of Kozilek versus us finding, like, decent threats. It's like what it's coming down to right now. And we just drew just a ton of land. We just drew a ton of land.
Which means you shouldn't have much left.
Like, even if the critics of Aether Vial said, oh, you shouldn't have Aether Vial in your deck. Come on, I drew just tons of land. Look how far I've gotten off of, like, what measly resources I have. Oh,
boom!
This is great. But the problem is, now there is a new problem. It's going to die to some sort of removal. So what I'm going to do is now tick the Aether Vial up to 3 to 4 so that I can play Master Waves at end of turn and get through a ton of damage. Because they've got, like, Collective Brutalities. They've got, what's it called? I shouldn't have played Synchrome Coast. They've got Collective Brutality. They've got Maelstrom Pulse. They have all sorts of really annoying cards at sorcery speed that will kill the charm. Oh, this is frustrating.
You're gonna win this one.
Maybe. I could be attacking with this Curse Catcher because if they block with the Tarmogoyf, not good. Because I don't need the Vial for Merfolk Trickster. It's got Flash built into it. Flash is on its way out.
Is it?
It's now HTML5.
Oh. Don't remind me.
Again?
Targeting your dink.
And looking at... Okay, we're going to sacrifice it. Counter!
Pay the 1.
Look at that. They put Surgical Extraction in the graveyard. That's hilarious.
Pays the 1.
This person just doesn't... This is one of those people who are like, I hate Lord of Atlantis. I'm going to take all the Lord of Atlantises out of your deck. Maybe they just got those stupid cards. Maybe their hand is just full of that garbage.
Hey, my deck is full of that garbage. Now's the shot.
What's this all about? So you have a removal spell? I guess so. Okay, so if you have a removal spell, that's going to be fine. Let's let them use it we want to... we want to make sure Master Waves is going to be clear for victory. Or maybe they just totally forgot what this card does. Because no matter what, Tarmogoyf's dealing no damage here. Maybe Assassin's Trophy? Okay, that's fine. Because I want to get all these lands out of my deck.
How much do you have left? Not many.
Not many. Okay, so Tarmogoyf still 0-1. Your attack is successful.
2 Master Waves would be beautiful here.
Second Master Waves would be good. Or Spreading Seas, or any creature. Or any creature. So now I have to use the Master Waves as, like, chump blockers. Okay, you have to use the Elementals as chump blockers. I could try to trade the Master of Waves.
Nah.
So if you have removal, that's not good. But it's not over.
Just block with 1 token.
But if I try to block this, if I do trade Master Wave, I only get 1 more turn. I could get 2 more turns if I just chump block. Okay, I'm going to play around the sorcery speed removal, though. Like Maelstrom Pulse and all that other stuff. Because if they do have Maelstrom Pulse, more Collective Brutalities, then actually not trading is not good. Okay, no more creatures. Give me my turn. Would you stop it? Just stop it already. Why are you drawing so... We would have totally crushed this person if we could just draw any threats. We're so high on cards. Well, that's...
For 1 more turn.
Yeah, let's try this 1 more time. They're not going to see the next Trickster coming. Or maybe they will if they try to play Surgical. Play around Choke. Tap your non-islands. Ah, this is so frustrating. Really good cards right now. Master Wave, Silvergill Adept, anything that, like, draws cards and still puts stuff on the board.
Let's get 2 Spreading Seas in a row, followed by Master Waves.
Just keep it in my hand, I guess, for Liliana the Veil. So we can take 1 hit. Her opponent is not playing lands. And our opponent had so many dead cards in their deck. They played with Extirpate and
A bunch of other stupid
Surgical Extraction. Whoops. Okay, whatever. I have a Lord. But the problem is now I'm in chump blocking mode.
That's fine.
No, it's not fine.
It'll be a battle of attrition.
Yeah, it needs to be. Well, yeah, but I'm losing that battle.
You'll slowly win it over the course of many turns.
I need, like, Spreading Seas into...
You've got card drawing cards.
Yeah, well, I need to draw them.
They're
Otherwise,
coming.
this doesn't matter.
They're coming.
Here comes the Surgical Extra... Oh, okay, I really need Spreading Seas for the Hissing Quagmire. There's just nothing we could do. We just drew 1,000,000 lands.
Flooded out big time.
This was, like, the most egregious of flooding out I've seen in a long time.
It's a bloody circus.
But you see how much we could do off of, you know, what we had. Yeah, we lose. Like, look how much of a game we made that, even though we just flooded out super terrible. Which is funny because in game 2, we just couldn't curve out. We were choked on mana. So I think what I really want to hit home is against the rock decks. You want to play around their sorcery speed removal. Like, even trading the Master of Waves there, I feel was correct because of things like Liliana the Last Hope, Collective Brutality, Maelstrom Pulse. All those cards would eat up my Master of Waves. So I really wanted to trade with the Tarmogoyf, so The lesson here is, against Rock, you want to play around sorcery speed removal. Versus Rock. Play around sorceries. I mean, like, yeah, like, sometimes you lose because your mana screwed, sometimes you lose because your mana flooded. There's just nothing I can do about that. But aside from that, I think the matchup should be incredibly favored for the Merfolk deck. Very conveniently for our opponent, they only drew 5 lands. I wish I only drew 5 lands this game. I wish I only drew 5 lands. So, we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank themanabase.com for being our sponsor. This has been Nikachu with his brother, playing Azorius Merfolk in Modern.